Hey you guys, I was cleaning the chicken coop today, and as I was walking to the compost pile to dump all the chicken poo things, I noticed a big patch of stinging nettle. Now I am familiar with where the stinging nettle grows on my farm because I planted some a couple years ago by seed, and so now it's kind of starting to blow around the property. So I was really excited to find the stinging nettle this morning. It's one of my favorite herbs, so I wanted to show you where it is, what it looks like. So inside the garden over there on the other side of the fence is my big patch of stinging nettle that I started from seed a couple years ago. And on the outside of the fence in the grass, you can see all of the stinging nettle is starting to pop up on the outside. Okay, now it is really young and new, so I can actually come up and just pick it by hand and not have any issues because it's so young. Okay, so I can pick all of this. You see that? That's the stinging nettle. And it's not going to make me break out in any blisters or anything like that, okay? Now, if it was great big, you can see how big some of it got. Okay, got real tall last year. I'd have to come out with my scissors, wear some gloves, and I'd have to harvest it that way. But this is the first stinging nettle of 2025. So it's the mid-March. I'm just gonna pinch a bunch of these off. We're having tacos tonight, so I'll probably cut a bunch of this up real fine, mix it in with the lettuce. So I wanted to show you all of that was growing right in the middle of the grass. I can see we're gonna have some dandelions right here. We're gonna let all the dandelions go for a couple of weeks though to feed the bees. So that is stinging nettle when it's really young. Again, it's like March 18th right now. So, oh look, we have some purslane growing right next to it. It's also really young. See that? It is the season for bitter herbs. So things like purslane, plantain, dead nettle, and then I just showed you all of the stinging nettle that's starting to pop up. So as those things start to come up, oh, the dandelion leaf, as those things start to pop up, you can harvest them when you're walking around your yard, or if you see them just out and about, and they're filled with vitamins and minerals. We are highly deficient in nutrients in this time of age. So for the first time ever, we're actually obese and nutrient deficient. So it's time to eat your minerals, eat your vitamins, and enjoy some bitter herbs this year. I love stinging nettle. Again, I'm going to chop that up tonight, put it in some lettuce for our tacos. And then I also actually already took my stinging nettle tincture this morning, but I like drying it to make teas, but we use it in place of anything you put spinach in. If you put spinach or kale in something, you can add stinging nettle to it, and it's super delicious. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and share it with a friend if maybe you have stinging nettle in your yard and you don't even know it. We are in southern Indiana on 28 acres, and a big part of our woods has stinging nettle, but then I wanted to get some in the garden as well. So planted that by seed, and it just blew and it grew in lots of different places now. Our kids have it underneath their trampoline as well. They don't enjoy weed eating it when it starts to get big, but if we stay up with pinching it off when it's real young, then we don't have to wear the gloves, like I said before. But it does, when it gets grown up, it will sting you just like poison ivy. And you can even break out in those blisters and everything. So be cautious, and I mean, if you're sensitive in the springtime, you may want to wear gloves as well. It doesn't bother me. But I hope this blessed you, and let me know, comment below, have you ever used stinging nettle? Do you cook with it? Do you take a tincture? Do you drink it as a tea? What do you use stinging nettle for? Have you ever tried it before? Have you ever foraged it? So be blessed. Okay, so it's March 18th, 2025. And I was just telling you that the stinging nettle is young enough to where you can pick it and like pinch it off without getting like stung by it. This guy, can you see how big he is? This guy got me. So he is already mature enough to where he's letting off that sting. Now, I don't have any blisters or anything like that, but I wanted to show you if they get about this big, they do start to hurt a little bit. But if they're smaller than that, like those first pieces that I showed you, you should be fine.